the first thing you mentioned that employers throwing in a few $100s. Is an employer, when they work with Sunny Day Fund, are they required to contribute, or is there a minimum that they have to contribute? And honestly, actually, another question is there a minimum or maximum that the employee can contribute as well?
Yeah, great set of questions. So remember, this is like unlike the emergency cash grant, which is, is something where the employee does not need to pay taxes on as they're receiving that from, foundation capital, effectively. On our side, this is their own post-tax dollars that's going into their own savings account that we open for them, right? So think of us as like a 401k light, where the money is not being invested in the market. Of course, it's sitting in a high yield savings account. So typically, most employers end up saying we want to create that the barrier to saving as low as possible, non-existent if possible, and that looks like like as little as $5 per paycheck going into their weekly, biweekly, semi-monthly paycheck, right? And across the board, just FYI, last year we saw roughly $211 on average that employees are putting away on a monthly basis. So this is pretty significant because the vast majority of the people that are on Sunny Day Fund are making sub six-figure wages, right? So we end up calculating it to be roughly 3 to 4% of their post-tax wallet share, which is again very significant and good. It's a good signal that roughly half of your population is doing that. On the maximum side, employers do sometimes set a maximum per paycheck contribution because they want to make sure that the employee is also taking advantage, if they're not already, on the 401k and HSA side. And the nice thing about what we were doing is we're nudging that too, right? We want people to take advantage of enabling their own retirement security or their health security if that ends up being an option for them. So we've heard that continuously be provided as great feedback to us, saying like hey, and thank you for helping to communicate those other programs from your perspective. On the employer, so what are employers providing as an incentive for the saving piece? Typically, most employers do a $25 to $50 sign-up bonus. So after the employee puts in their first contribution, the month after that, they typically, or the quarter after that, they typically get that sign-up bonus. And it's not required by any means, but most employers also do an additional up to $200 to $400 per person per year. What's been really interesting to see is how employers are rethinking how they're doing compensation. So if they're doing an annual bonus of some kind, or a retention bonus of some kind, or gift cards of some kind, they're realizing that the value of that can be multiplied by depositing it into this savings program, which is going towards shoring up the employee from a financial security and emergency savings sense. But as you know, Cindy, like this, like you can save up for not just emergencies, but additional financial goals, like going on a vacation, putting down a security deposit to move into a new apartment. So enabling that near-term financial trajectory is something that works really well too.